It's time to get up and go get it. This is the For Brilliant Business Women Roundtable podcast show with Ursula, Sheena, Dominique, and Tanisha. Confident, innovative, resourceful, creative ladies empowerment. Get ready, get set for success.
All right, I'm sorry. These technical difficulties. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's edition of Success Talk Sundays. Again, I'm going to reintroduce myself because I had a few technical difficulties today. We are podcasting today as well as on Facebook Live. I'm Tanisha R. Atkins. I have with me today some co-hosts. I have two of the four brilliant business women because this was not a whatever that name is. This was this was not that type of meeting, but today I have Dominique Guilford of Guilford Enterprises with me and Sheena Johnson of 24 Hour Entrepreneur. So they are in the studio with me today because we have some new announcements today. These ladies are going to be starting their podcast coming up in January. And so they are here today to give you some information and some insight on that, to tell you more about their shows. This is Success Talk Sundays. This is a part of the Divas Incorporated brand, just doing what we can to let you have some power conversations to keep you pumped up about success, making sure that you're feeding yourself power thoughts and encouraging yourself, because this journey of entrepreneurship is definitely a journey, and if you don't have the right tools in place, you're gonna fail, you're gonna crash, you're not gonna make it to your destiny. And that's just what it is. And so that's why I created Divas Incorporated, because you need that. We all need that. When you're driving in a car and you have a flat tire, well, sometimes you're going to have to pull to the side of the road, but you have to make sure that you have the tools that you need in the car so you don't stay on the side of the road. So that's what success, it's a part of the journey. The more you prepare, the better your outcome will be. And so I'm so excited to have these ladies here today. And again, I'm Tanisha R. Atkins, and we are podcasting today. So ladies, are y'all ready for this journey?
Yes, very much so.
You know, this is why I tell you need amazing people around you, because when I call them up, because anybody who knows or is associated with me, you know, I always have something. It's going to be some project, something going on. And I love the fact that I can call them and say, guess what? I got something else. And they don't be like, oh my God. Well, they probably say it in their head, but they don't say it to me. You know, they don't say, girl, oh my God, what? They be like, yeah, what is it? They always stay excited about the next move, because we all share this. We are all on a mission to inspire others on the entrepreneur journey. And so I love that about them, that they came on board and they were like, yes, we're going to do the podcast. Right now we do it every Sunday. It's Success Talk Sundays, but they're going to have their own segment and they're going to tell you about it today. They're going to tell you what they're going to talk about. They're going to tell you the name of their podcast. And so, who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. Sheena looking like
It doesn't matter.
No, let me go first. Sheena gonna go into depth, and she gonna get using these terms.
Oh my God!
Just staggering over my words.
Okay.
In that type of position.
Okay.
A mess.
Okay, so she wanted us to give you guys a little bit of feedback on what our segments will be about. And so the name that I came up for my segment was what to expect when you're expecting success. It's not always easy and it won't always be comfortable, but you have to expect the best even when things are not looking the best at times. And so my goal is to give you guys the best description or the best example of what I went through. And again, everybody may go through something different, and you may not be exposed to some of the challenges I faced, but I'm going to give you my take on what I had to go through. And then the first 2 episodes that I'm going to be giving you guys, as far as my outview would be from my husband's perspective and from my children's perspective, because when you go through becoming successful, it affects so many more people than just you. And I know even when I fall short, I always speak on my husband being there to catch me, but I think if you're able to put a voice with someone other than myself, he can give you a more accurate depiction of his viewpoint. And then, of course, because I started when my daughter was 5 and my son was 6, they have loved it and they have hated it. Yeah. And so they are able to give you guys a standpoint on why they feel the way they feel, behind the way they feel, and what they expected it to be and what it actually ended up being. And so that's just the reality of life when you're starting a business.
I love that. That's why I know that this. That's why I know that this show is going to be amazing, because I know that, first of all, that this was a God idea. I know that it was, because Dominique, first of all, can be very shy.
Yes.
I am really shocked that she's actually sitting here today, but I knew that when I came to her and she said yes, I knew that this was it, because let me say it this way. Dominique is a daycare owner, and you probably say, well, she's not in the corporate America, blah, blah, blah. But Dominique had to have the wisdom to start that successful business. There had to be something on the inside of her, the right direction. So don't ever think just because you start off doing one thing that, you're just called to that. Yes. Because there is a reason and a way that you got there, and people need that. Yeah. So even though how many daycares do you have now?
We're working on a 3rd. We actually have inspection on Friday for our 3rd center. And
the 3rd center. Now, can you please tell these people how long you've been in business?
Since 2012.
Since 2012, okay? And she is getting ready to open her 3rd daycare center. So what does that say to me? That she's doing something right. Yeah. She's tapped into some success principles that have brought her success. Why wouldn't you want to talk to her? Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to hear, well, what did you do? Yeah. You may not be starting a daycare, but you're doing something. Yeah. Success principles work no matter what you're doing, okay? Yeah. So that's why I know. So when she told me the name of her show was What to Expect, I was like, that is amazing, because some of us don't have people telling us what to expect. And that's why we're here.
Yeah. And I told my daughter, I said, had somebody told me that this is where I would have been and this is what it took, I probably wouldn't have done it. And I'm going to be honest, I probably would have stayed home and did it the way I was doing it from home, but just myself, because it takes a lot out of you. Yeah. But if that's what you're called to do, then who am I to rob everybody of what God has told me to do? I'm not going to be that person. I can't be selfish for myself.
Yeah, see, I love it. And I'm telling you, I'm excited. Sheena, what don't you think this is a big step for her?
I mean, it's much needed, It's much needed, because there's so many podcasts out, but I have yet to run across one that really shows you what to expect. Everybody has their calling and their niche for entrepreneurship, but I think that even coming to myself, if I would have known a lot of things to expect, from all different aspects of entrepreneurship, I believe it would have helped me along the way.
Right.
Because you wouldn't have hit as many hiccups as you
Because sometimes you can take those things as a sign of I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's why you need to, the more you know, this is a part of success. This is just because you start I already have one camera on me. I'm not a celebrity yet. I get a little shy a little bit sometimes at the Confidence headquarters. Y'all got to pray for the CEO. But again, just starting off on that journey. I like that she said, had she known all these things was gonna be on the journey, she probably wouldn't have. She started out doing daycare in her home, and so then making the decision to transition into a building, well, that's a whole nother responsibility.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you know, that's you talking about inspections and fire marshals, and see, I've worked at a daycare, so I know all that stuff. Making sure, you know, being responsible for other people's children. Like, do you see how much stuff is happening? And let me tell you, Dominique is thorough. Okay, I went to pick up a kid that I actually sent to her daycare, and I was like, well, I'm going to send my mom. She's like, oh no, your name on the list, you come get him. I said, you know what, that's a boss chick right there. I said, let me go get this kid because you know, you have to have the right stuff, you know, rules and stuff in place to keep people's children safe. And so we're excited. What is the name of the show again?
It is What to Expect When You're Expecting Success.
All right.
It's really outline, again, just my journey of what I had to go through, my challenges, what I had to come into realization that has to be in place. And again, it's just my perspective in the way that I took. Because again, when I did it, I unfortunately did not have a mentor that taught me. So everything I did was self-taught. And so even when I feel like something wasn't done accurately, I still had to go back and do the most due diligence I could in trying to rectify some of the things that I get wrong at times. And even when I get it wrong, thank God I have, again, my husband, he'll chin check me real fast. And he's like, Dominique, this is unacceptable. And I want to get mad and go in on him. But at the end of the day, he's only there.
You know that's what you need at that time.
And do the best
that's
good. Can. So just be prepared for me to be as candid as I can. And if you ever have a question during the segment or during the podcast, please feel free to drop it down in the
comment section,
and I'll do my best to get back to you. If not the same time at that time, then at a later time. But most definitely, I will respond to whatever question you may have that I can help you with.
And that's good because it's going to be a podcast show, so that way I'm going to start her off as a podcast until she gets comfortable, and then we're going to bring her to the first Facebook Live work because she's still kind of working through some stuff. But trust me, when that microphone is on, she's going to be a whole different person. So anyway, so that's going to actually kick off in January. We're just kind of introducing the shows right now and telling you about them. So it's going to kick off in January, first of the year. Okay.
Now let me say this: my first 2 podcasts will be live on Facebook because I will actually be in New York. And when I'm in New York, my daughter has talked me into going live from New York. We're going to be in Times Square for New Year's Eve. So we are going to be live, and you're going to actually get an opportunity. There are going to be 2 pre-recorded shows, but you do actually get the effect of
I love it.
Some of the payoff for being able to work as hard as what we do, and not always being able to rejoice in what we have.
Right.
So that would be an opportunity for me to kind of thank my children and my husband for being able to take this journey with me.
That is amazing. I'm telling you, 2012. This is 2018 and 3 centers. So y'all look forward to that. I see the camera face. Y'all look forward to that and get ready for that because what to expect is going to be good. I'm excited. Yeah. So let's switch over to Miss Sheena Johnson, the lady of many hats. Lord. Me and Sheena stay out. We always call each other because we you know, when you got your hats on, you know, we stay talking all week long. We stay talking all week long. So Sheena, tell us the name of your show.
So the name of my show is The Truth About Entrepreneurship. And so what you can expect with the podcast starting next year for what to expect. Not what to expect, I'm sorry, that's a mistake. What you can expect with The Truth About Entrepreneurship. Well, how I came up with the name was, it's a passion of mine to help people and to educate people on entrepreneurship. And that came from just in my beginning walks of entrepreneurship and making mistakes, like Dominique mentioned, making mistakes in entrepreneurship and not having that experience or knowledge or the tools that we needed to be successful. So making different mistakes along the way, which hurt at that moment, but they helped us grow, you know, in our business. So just a little background about me. I've been in transportation for the last 8 years, and I started off in entrepreneurship as a hairstylist and a skincare therapist. And
an amazing one at that.
Let me throw that out there.
And so, just my walk with entrepreneurship, and then basically just teaching you the fundamentals that you need within your business and running your business the correct way. Because a lot of people don't know, and the first couple of episodes, I'm going to really talk about my journey, because a lot of people don't know that, how I got into transportation and my experience in transportation. Thank you, Flo. And my experience in transportation. A lot of people don't know that we were investigated by the FBI. A lot of people don't know that we were investigated for money laundering, for embezzlement and fraud and all type of things when it came with our taxes and things of that nature in business. So I really, really, really I'm going to be talking to, or anticipate talking to, entrepreneurs during this podcast about, handling your finances when it comes to entrepreneurship, because at the time we were doing our employees a favor by paying under the table and not really knowing exactly what to do to help so and so out and to do certain things, and so getting ourselves in some financial type of issues with the FBI and the IRS, and our family and friends being interviewed, and our contracts and the people that we work with through the city being investigated, when it came to us, which was something really serious, and it happens every day. We were making way too much money in a short amount of period of time, and we didn't know what to do with it. So I'll be talking to entrepreneurs, and I'll be talking to you about like what to do when an enormous amount of revenue starts to bombard you and come into your business. How to place these, what to do with these funds, how to handle these funds, how to prepare yourself to grow in a short amount of time. Our first year in business, we made $200,000 in 6 months. We did not know what in the world to do. We were just excited. We're making money, and hey, it's all good. But there are steps to be made, and there are things that you have to put in order in place when in business, and we were just entrepreneurs. We had no idea, what it took to actually maintain and to keep that money, and then to reinvest that money, or to save that money, for new opportunities that came our way. So that's what I talk to you guys about in my podcast. And I'll also be talking to you about how to incorporate godly principles in your business, because the Bible talks about business. It talks about money. It talks about how to handle your business. So my husband and I, we decided, okay, we have 24-hour entrepreneur. We want to be able to instill godly principles in our business. So we talk to you. I'll be talking to you about verses in the Bible and showing you how you can incorporate those godly principles in your business, because the Bible talks about business relationships. It talks about building integrity. Yes. It talks about being fair and being honest. At one point we didn't know that we weren't being fair and not being honest. And the Bible talks about, okay, if a person comes, let's just say, for instance, if a person comes to you and they do all this work for you and you don't pay them fair. The Bible talks about being fair. If someone comes and someone does something for you, we talk about going the extra mile. We talk about going the extra mile in business. The Bible says if a soldier asks you to carry his equipment for 1 mile, you carry it for 2 miles. So we talk about really going out of your way in business to make your mark and to stand apart from other businesses, so that you can maintain those business relationships and keep those contracts coming in, and keep the things that you need to have a thriving business. So that is, it's going to get really real with the podcast, and it's going to be the truth about entrepreneurship, because it's not easy. It's really ugly. It's really dirty, and you want to give up at some time.
Yes, ma'am.
You really want to draw the line.
But I really want people to be mindful, because I know when you do it, it really is an all family on board project.
All family on board.
Because if you have that member in your family that is not on board and they have moments where they cannot be able to support you, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail miserably. Right. You're going to go from being able to do it to facing this thing alone.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know it was a time where my husband was like, these people in my house, I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it. And when that was it. And because you have people that are there and that's expecting something from you, and when you cannot produce because your own children are sick or because something comes up with your own family, they're not understanding that. And so I really want people to understand that if you're going to sit down and you're going to really take the time to listen into these podcasts and throw this information out to you, you have to make sure that you have that tough conversation with your family to make sure that everyone is on board and everyone understands that it comes with big shoes to wear because you are now accountable for other people's dreams and ambitions.
Oh, yeah.
And if you cannot make that commitment, don't take that time and don't rob me of something that you're willing to give me but you can't commit fully.
Now you tell me that we don't need these conversations. I'm sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah.
We need that. Yeah. But go ahead. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's so true, Dominique, because I went into business with my brother and my uncle. Today, I'm still in business, but I don't have my brother or my uncle. You know, we were partners. And so, you know, you have to make sure that when you are going to business and your family members are involved, you know, it has to be a for sure thing. It has to be a for sure understanding. There has to be roles in place. And in my podcast, we talk about, hey, you know, operating roles. We talk about going, are we talking about going into partnership? Are we talking about, you know, having your family in the business, you know?
That's right.
It gets real.
Bad day. You cannot give up on that bad day when you have to
can't give up on that bad day.
Wow.
Because folks are depending on you, and that slanders everything that you are attempting to sow into the good ground. Because it's different when you get up to go to somebody else's job. You can call in and you can make those exceptions because it's not yours.
Yeah,
right.
But when it's yours, you can't give an excuse on why you can't. You know, 'cause even when I first started out, and we would hire people, and then they would come and then they were like, "Well, I don't want to do this anymore." And then you're used to somebody else getting there and being there. Then you have to make the exception to get there. And your daughter, you know, because it was several times my daughter had productions at school. And I didn't come to them forever. And she's like, "Mom, when are you going to finally make the time to come?"
Right.
But I can't come because I'm doing this for other people. They don't always understand that, you know. And thank God she didn't develop a resentment. You know, but at some time you have to take that step back and say, I can't do it by myself anymore. This thing is bigger than me.
That is something to. I'm telling you, I'm excited about y'all's show because these are the conversations that we don't have before we get on the journey to success. And I always say, you know, picture you going to Florida. You wake up one day and you say, I'm going to go to Florida. Well, if you have not taken the time to fact check, you need to make sure, first of all, can your car make it to Florida? Okay? So you need to know these things. You need to, you know, have a spare tire. It's just, and I know that you may say that sounds silly, but you really have to look at success that way. You know, there are some things that you cannot anticipate that's going to be on the road, but the more, that's why you have people like us in place that when you do encounter things that you did not expect, which is what Dominique will be talking about, a few things of what to expect, you know, you can pull over to the side, deal with your emotions, handle the situation, get back in the car, and get back on the journey. Right?
Now, just imagine if you're taking this journey going to Florida with all these people in the car, and your car break down, you get a flat, the transmission go, and you have 3 people that's in their car, they call the ride to come and get them, but they still have you stranded. You have to factor that in because people that start their journey with you won't always finish their journey with you, and they'll leave you high and dry. And once your investment is in there, you have money attached to it, and you're hemorrhaging money at some point. You know, you don't have nobody, you don't have a loan company you can call all the time that's going to bail you out if you're upside down in things. And so you can go from having $400,000 in the bank to having $20,000, and what do you do when you have bills that do? So you have to be mindful. You have to understand that is a reality.
It is a reality.
You know what I mean? So you go from not having a car note to having to trade in your car note and get a cash card just to get through being able to make payroll. So you have to be mindful of those things.
I heard some celebrities talk about how they even had to sleep in their car, you know, because you don't expect it. I know Tyler Perry said that he started out writing plays, and then at one point he had to sleep in his car because nobody came to his shows. You know, you might have a good product, you might be really good at what you do, but you have to overall throughout everything trust the process, because every step you take is preparing you for that journey. It's preparing you for that dream. But a lot of times we want to skip steps, and you cannot skip steps because maybe step 1 is going to teach you loyalty, and maybe step 2 is going to teach you patience. You need those things so that when you get to the top of that mountain, you can soar there. But if you know, just boom, 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 I don't want to do this, I'm going to get to the mountain, you're not going to be able to sustain because you don't have the tools in your toolkit. You don't have patience with people. So now you got 500 employees that you're screaming at, and they're going to quit on you. These things are important. You have to have these conversations, right?
I believe so. Like you said, each level teaches you something different, because a lot of times I think that in entrepreneurship we see, the end result, or even not even the end result. We see the best face forward. We see, the lavish things that, people buy, and we see the great customer service. But of course we don't see, where there's no sales all week and Friday, every sale hit, know what I'm saying?
Praying
on
for
that one
payroll,
Friday and Saturday
to
pay, payroll, to even take care of your overhead, your business. We see position. Okay, you see like the great, you see, they have transportation company, but you don't see that I had to drive for myself, for a month because I didn't have the dependable drivers, or I had committed to something that I wasn't able to fulfill. So I'm having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get home at 9 o'clock at night because I'm having to drive my own business. Just being your true authentic self and learning and going on the journey in entrepreneurship and learning everything you can versus
just saying I'm gonna get out there and do a business because you see the end product
because it's working for someone else. Really being passionate about what you do. Really being interested in what you do. I had someone message me the other day and said, I just want to sell some stuff. Oh, okay.
You do that with the trunk of your car.
Just because everybody out here selling stuff does not mean you are going to be successful in selling everything, just because you see the next person on Instagram or Facebook selling it. And they may not even be selling,
right.
And you'll
get a couple of sales too. You might get a couple of sales, but how successful do you want to be at it? What's going to make you stand out?
What's going to, yes.
You can sell t-shirts. I sold t-shirts and sold plenty of them. But still, you want to go global. You need a plan. You need a marketing plan. You need that's not what this show is about.
But you also got to have it inside. A lot of people have gift and a lot of people have talent, but they don't have the drive and the motivation, and they think that just because I post a picture, 500 people gonna buy this buy this product. And they don't have, what it takes to get up morning and morning.
Yeah, the longevity.
The biggest reason is, and here at Divas Incorporated, home of the Confidence headquarters, the main reason why, and this is something that me and God had to have a conversation about, because if you don't know your why, and I say that all the time, that is so important that when I first started selling my t-shirts, I did not really know when the idea came to me, like, why t-shirts? Everybody's selling t-shirts, so what how am I going to have success in selling the t-shirts? But once I connected to my why, I had to take time and let that thing marinate and say, okay, so this t-shirt line is going to inspire women, encourage women. So once you find out your why, that will help your marketing strategy, because your message has to be strong enough. And so, talking about on the road to entrepreneurship, so here you are, you decide you're going to sell t-shirts, you're going to get a website, you're going to pay $500, you're going to get a website, you're going to order t-shirts, but if you don't sell your why and you just put your picture of your t-shirt up there, well, somebody might say, well, that's cute, I think I might want it. But when you get a t-shirt, you say, this is to promote, I want, women need to be confident, we need to love ourselves, we need to learn how to toot our own horn sometimes, you deserve it, look at this is an affirmation over your life. Well, now you have my attention. Now I'm like, well, wait a minute, I do love myself. Yeah, I am amazing. You have to just spin on it. You have to. So we're talking about entrepreneurship. It's basically just what we're talking about. Understanding your why you're doing it, and these are things that you're going to learn in doing your steps. The more steps you take, the more you're going to get and understand why. And once you get that why, nobody can stop you. Because then you understand that you're on a mission, like you're on assignment from God. Like this, God chose me to do this,
Yeah.
What's happening?
I don't understand.
What's wrong?
I was asking her, I was like, how many viewers do you have?
Man, we're in a recording session. Excuse us, our stagehand over here has a question. So are you ladies excited? Tell them again when your show is going to kick off and how they can find your show.
Okay, mine will be the second Sunday of every month. So every second Sunday, just save it on your calendar and your phone. To automatically log you in so you can be a part of the conversation. I really do want it, and I want, just please, I'm going to be as brutally honest as I can, and it's not to scare anybody who might be passionate about the journey of ownership of a business, but it's just to let you know that it ain't easy, because if you ain't prepared to miss most of your kids' events starting out, or you ain't prepared to have folks all in your business and feel like you owe them something for believing in you, then this ain't the business for you. If you are offended easily, or you wear your feelings on your sleeve, or you worry about people judging you, please don't do it, because folks gonna judge you, and they gonna judge everything you do, and they gonna scrutinize it, and they gonna compare you to others. And some days you might have 150 clients, and some days you might have 2 and wonder how you about to make your rent.
Yeah. Look, that need to be episode 102. Expect to be judged.
At all.
Right? Expect them to say, what makes you think you can do this?
Yeah.
Because people will look at your issues, but they don't look at what God put on the inside of you. Yeah. We all have our set of issues. We all can start our own magazine edition, okay? Yeah. But that does not change the fact that what God put on the inside of you. Yeah. What's in you is in you. Just because you having a challenge or something, that does not mean anything. But to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep it moving. Yeah, you have to develop an unstoppable, I'm going to get it, no turning back, whatever I got to do attitude. And until you do that, it won't be nothing for a storm to come. It's a lot of noise in my background. It won't be nothing for a storm to come and knock you down, and you're done. You're done. And
that's it.
Let's tie back to godly principles, like Sheena was saying. If God said He comes so you can have life and have it more abundantly, well, your business is a part of you, so your business should be an abundant business. Yeah. But then you have the enemy. He got an assignment too, to kill, steal, and destroy. Yeah. So what does that mean? He see you on your journey. All he got to do is throw stuff on your path. And if depending on your attitude, the condition of your attitude is going to determine if you're going to continue, or if you're going to let that storm blow you off, let the trees and the debris in the road, now you stop, it's done, you're finished, it's a wrap. That is the biggest part of success, is developing your attitude. You have to have a winning attitude. And we walk around and we say, it's my winning season, it's my winning season. It's your winning season, but guess what? Are you really ready to win? Do you really have what it takes to win?
Because last year I was ready to go get a regular job.
We all have been like that.
I was like, no, girl, just take it, because I'm about to go and work at somebody's job. And then I was like, that ain't fair, because I've invested too much of my time and my family's time.
So, Miss Sheena, when is your show going to air?
So you guys can anticipate and look forward and plan forward to The Truth About Entrepreneurship from 24 Hour Entrepreneur on every third Sunday starting January 2019. So I'll be posting a link, and there'll be links, and there'll be
links, yes,
and all that good stuff on the 24 Hour Entrepreneur page. So you can go on to the Facebook 24 Hour Entrepreneur page, and you can also go on the 24 Hour Entrepreneur Instagram page, and the link will be in the bio there. So every Sunday you'll be able to go in, and you'll be able to tune in to the show. And so I just want to add on to both of you all, where you talked about, you having to have a winning spirit and a winning attitude when it comes to entrepreneurship. And you've got to have also, I think is also important, a attitude of not an attitude of sacrifice, but you have to be able to sacrifice a lot of things, because we want to go into entrepreneurship and we want it to be great to us, but we don't want to give anything to it, to birth it, to grow it, to fuel it. We want to continue to take lavish trips. We want to still buy lavish clothes, and we want to do everything, yet we don't want to put those finances into our business. A lot of people say, oh, I want to start a business, but I don't have any money. And then the next thing I do, I see you
shopping
or going to the Bahamas. And you know, if you really want to go into business and be successful in business, you got to make some sacrifices, and sometimes that means, like Dominique stated, you know, missing games, you know, missing production from your children. You know, I miss plenty of my kids' football and basketball games. You know, not making it to certain family events. You know, coming in late to certain things. You know,
even like when my daughter gets sick, and I promise you I can't get there to get her, and I have to call and search for people to go pick her up from school, like literally. And this was like 3 months ago.
The sacrifice. You have to be able to sacrifice some things. And that's the hardest part. Because we don't want to give up anything, you know. But when you realize that there's no other way, I have to do this, you know, or this has to live.
That's true.
This has to, you know.
What does that do for you emotionally, since y'all kind of brought that up? You know, talk about that a little bit, Dominique. Emotionally, what does that do for you when you can't get to your baby?
It makes you feel some type of way, but even when me and my daughter sit down and we have conversations, she'll vocalize how she feels. Like even now, she'll vocalize how she feels. Oh, when I'm like, okay, when I get old and we have a conversation we had, we're gonna have the daycare and we're gonna do this. She's like, well, I ain't run no daycare. Like today, you and CJ would have to run a daycare when we get older. We can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we just gonna close that sucker down because if we gotta do what all y'all done, I don't want to do it.
Wow.
And that's their perception, because they have always had to give of their time when it comes down to being priority sometimes. And so it's like, you know.
So what does that, I mean, how does that make you, not necessarily with her, with the daycare, but I'm saying like when, say they call and they like, your daughter is sick, but you on a daycare run and you can't get to her. Like, how does that, you know, emotionally?
I thank God for the school my daughter goes to, because she goes to KIPP, and she's been at KIPP since she was 3. And so I have the numbers for every person on the administrative team at her school, every bus driver that picks up her and everything else. So I can call Miss Self at her school and say, hey, Miss Self, hold the name behind your desk until I'm able to get there. And she going to hold her. Or I can, like Miss Campbell was her teacher in the 6th grade. So 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, Miss Campbell said, hey, Dominique, I can get Danae home. Or I could do this. So I thank God, because her teachers would literally drop her off at home sometimes.
Well, that's a blessing.
That was a blessing for me. But I know if she was in public school,
it'll be a different thing.
She wouldn't have had it. So I got lucky with the teachers that Danae had.
Well, I like that. I like that you said that, because it just lets me know and reassures that God will back you up. Like when you're doing entrepreneurship and you're on the right road that God wants you to be on, God will back you up and make sure that He knows that your family is important to you, and He's not going to stick you out. So in your case, I would say, you know, He placed you with good teachers, but your kids have good teachers that can back you up and say, don't worry about it, Miss Dominique, we're going to take care of her. And that way you can continue to do your business, you know, but not thinking that, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and everything is going to work out. Oh my God, I have to flip out because my daughter's sick. No, God, what is the solution here? Because you know I can't be in 2 places at one time.
Because even it was a point like when her dentist, she had to get braces, and her brackets and stuff came loose, and the dentist office and understood what I was doing while you at work, and the dentist was like, let me do this. When I'm on my way in for work, I'll pick her up from the daycare and I'll drop her back off. And I'm like, this is the dentist, and you ain't got to do that. Like, you know what I mean? But the fact that you saw the drive that I had, you were willing to put somebody across my path that was willing to assist me with what I needed to do as a mother.
Well, that's something to expect too, because you can say, you can expect delays on your journey, but you should expect favor. That's a good thing. That's, you know, turn it into a positive way. Definitely. Expect for God to show you favor on your journey. That's something to expect when you're expecting success. It don't have to always be about the bad things, but expect direction, expect wisdom, expect to know where to go next, you know? So those are good things.
That's really good.
Those are good things. But we're excited. We don't want y'all to feel overwhelmed about success, because at the end of the day, you know, it's about doing what God put in you to do. It's about fulfilling your purpose and making your mark in His word and changing lives. That's what it should be about, you know. And so don't get overwhelmed about it. Trust the process, trust the journey, trust God that everything is going to work out. So Dominique's show is what to expect when you're expecting success. She's going to talk about some of the things you have to work through. She's going to talk talk about some of the good things too. On that side, she's going to talk about family, and I think that's going to be a big driving point for her show. She's going to talk about how to juggle your family, how to get everything in line, what to expect from your family, how do you maneuver through their attitudes when they don't feel like it, how do you pull yourself together emotionally when your family want to fall apart.
That's really good.
That's important.
This was last week. I've been in business almost 6-7 years, and last week I didn't have the energy to cook. My daughter was went and bought her some macaroni and made her some macaroni. That's what she had for dinner. And she was like, "Oh, I see you ain't about to do."
And guess what? And you can't feel bad about that at a certain point because now she old enough now.
Thank God.
Well, she can. But can you imagine how many people start out on that journey and thinking, "Well, I got to be at every kid function and I got to do everything." Well, you can't do everything. But that's where that favor comes in. There, you have to go back to trusting God. God, you call me to do this business. How can I juggle everything? We got to depend on God. When you get out there thinking you're gonna do it by yourself, you're gonna crash on the side of that road. You're going to crash because I see you, and then you're going to crash on the side of the road. And so I know y'all love to see. I just I'm a celebrity heart. It's okay. But God is faithful. You know, I've learned so much on this road of entrepreneurship. I'm still learning, but the most thing that I can tell you is that God is faithful and that He has your back. And when you can go into anything and know that no matter what I face, I will never be on the battlefield alone. And somebody needs to write that down. You will never be on the battlefield alone. I'm telling you, He will always be right there. And when you think you can't make it, He gonna let you cry, and then He gonna say, "Now get them tears, get that tissue, wipe your face, give me your hand, and get up. Let's go." He got your back, so that's you always. If you just go into it, know that He got you. And when you feel like giving up, you say, "No, God just has to show me the way that I need to do this, what I need to do to accomplish this." Because you were born to be successful. You know, success, I like to say success is in your DNA. You know, God made us. You ain't got nothing to worry about. So it's all about attitude. I'm excited about their shows, though. It's going to kick off in January because we're going to give them a little time to plan and prep a little bit and get ready. So I'm going to have the first Sundays. Mine is just success talk and developing your attitude, keeping that winning attitude. That's what I'm going to talk to you about every first Sunday. I'm going to give you power boost. Every first Sunday, you're going to get your power punch. So that's going to be the first Sunday. That's enough camera time for me. And then on the second Sunday, Dominique is going to come with what to expect when you're expecting success. And then on the third Sunday, Sheena is going to talk about the truth about entrepreneurship. And then after that, we still have our For Brilliant Business Women circle that we're going to meet. Our next meeting is in January, and we'll meet every quarter to come together with our sister Ursula. And so we'll all come back together and talk about success. And then until the next show, you'll get to hear all our lovely voices to talk about success. So does anybody have any closing comments? Any closing arguments? Anything else that they want to add about the show? Are you excited? Y'all excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited.
Oh, we didn't tell them where will these podcasts be. Now, right now, we're on the Spreaker app and we're on SoundCloud. Things are under Divas Incorporated right now. Even though they have their own brands, we're kind of doing things a little under Divas Incorporated, but on there, they're going to have their own pages. Because this is a corporation for business women, and so just because they have their own brands, it's okay to pull us together, and that's what we're doing. And so right now I have the platform for that, for them to do that. We're going to be on the Spreaker app. They're going to be on YouTube and also on SoundCloud. So that's where it's going to be. You can go to either. What you say? What you say?
I don't think I signed up for all them apps on the fan.
It automatically goes there, ma'am. It's automation. So thank y'all so much for joining today. I want to ask y'all a question though before we go. Can y'all tell me what did y'all think when I called y'all and said, what do y'all think about doing a broadcast? I kind of want to know what y'all first thoughts was.
I told my husband, I said, Chad, I need to find a way to tell I can't do it, but I need you to help me come up with this too. And he was like, I ain't about to be lying for you. I was like, God dang, you ain't a good husband. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I was like, you know what, let me just embrace it.
Well, tell me why. Why were you...
I'm one of those people, even when I post, I usually post about my family, about my kids. I very seldom post about my business unless I'm doing advertising. I very seldom post about the challenges I go through because I don't ever want to give anybody the feeling as if I need the attention when I'm down on my worst.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes people think that people breed or they find joy in somebody having to pat you on the back and say, oh, I want you to do better, or we're praying for you. And so I'm of a more
so you were hesitant. You were like hesitant, which you are, but you know, and I told her, I said, I know you don't like to talk and do all that stuff. I said, but you really have something to say. You've been in business for this amount of time, and for you to be on your third daycare, you really have something, you know. And you need that. People need.
They do.
That's why I say don't ever think.
That's the only reason why I'm doing this, because when you said that, I was like, okay. And one thing I know about Tanisha knows if she called me with an idea. Whatever this ideal is, I'm gonna find a way to make myself available to do it. Right. And so I said, you know what, God, if that's what you want me to do, then you use me the way you want me to use you. But I'm not gonna
I was nervous about asking y'all, to be honest, because I was just like, well, you know, what are they gonna think, you know, or whatever. And then I knew this one was gonna do it. I wasn't worried about her at all. But you, and then I was like, she gonna see. So I talked to myself and I said, you know what, the idea just wouldn't leave me. You know, I was like, I know this is what we need to do. I know that this is Dominique's next level. And so the reason why I asked him that. We're almost done, Chad. Almost done. The reason why I asked him that because I wanted to show you that how you have to get uncomfortable to go to the next level. And so this is not always comfortable for me. That's, you know, all the time getting better, but one step at a time. And so that's why I wanted to know, get uncomfortable, because this show is going to bless you. It's what to expect. When you're expecting success, this is going to help people that are out there trying to juggle families and businesses. And I need you to see that, and I need you to get that, and I need you to hold on to that. And when you don't feel like doing it, and when you're tired, and when things are frustrated, remember that there's somebody else out there that feels like that, and they need your voice today. So, and Miss Sheena over here, I'm not worried about this firecracker because, honey, let me tell you, this is the business, honey. I don't even got nothing to say. I just don't. I don't have nothing to say because it's just in her so much. You can tell Sheena one thing, she be like, girl, no, you need to do this.
She'll take that shit wrong with it.
Oh my God.
She got her own business forever. Like forever. Even when she worked at Mama Studio, she still have on her own doing, you know.
Sheena has always been the mom. I met Sheena when her and my sister were little girls. She would always come over here. She was always the mama of the group. She was like, no, you don't need to do that. No. I was like, this little bossy girl here. But she a natural boss, you know.
I am a natural boss.
And it's okay.
And, you know, I have had to learn, like, okay, you know what? I have to coach myself a lot of times when going into places like, don't take over, Sheena. Don't take over this. Don't let everybody do this. Don't take over. You know?
It's so hard when you like, you know, when you anointed for something, you can go into a business and be like, they need to straighten them cups up. See, when people walk in here, they're not going to want to shop it. It's just in you like that, you know? So.
Yeah, you know, and the truth is, you know, sometimes a lot of people say that, oh, you know, you don't need to learn things because God will teach you. And, like, I feel like I am a prime example that, you know, I don't have a college degree, you know. I need a college degree. I would love to have achieved, you know, that accomplishment. But I don't have a college degree, you know. And I don't have, I don't speak perfect English or, you know, whatever. And I may not be the typical just wonderful entrepreneur, you know. I've been divorced and I have, you know, 2 kids and, you know, just some of everything. And, you know, I feel like in some people's situation, you know, you can be, to myself, sometimes I feel like I'm the least likely person to tell you what can work, you know. But when God puts his stamp of approval on something, and when God says that you are qualified, or when God says that you are worthy,
can't nobody disqualify you.
That's it. At a point in time in my life, I would go into meetings where I was the youngest person, the only African American woman in the meeting, and I'm with professors and, you know, the presidents of the school board, you know, and things of that nature. And, you know, nobody everybody knows my name, but I have to remind myself that God knows my name.
Yes.
God placed me here, and I'm qualified, and you know. So I think that we can't be hard on ourselves.
That is so funny that you said that, because before you got here, I just told Dominique that. I said, Dominique, sometimes I feel like, well, I didn't go to school for this. So these are conversations that I had with myself in the beginning. I said, people are going to be like, who she thinks she is? And, I went through all that, but then God just has to remind me, like, you're like a computer. I've already downloaded the file in you.
Yeah.
All you got to do is open your mouth.
Yeah.
And that helped me to get over, because I was like, I said, hey, when I tell you something, just know I've been talking to the Lord. Now, you can take it or not take it. That's up on you. God gives the wisdom to whom he just decides and chooses to give the wisdom to. But if you want to stay busy looking at their circumstance and what they got going on and the mistakes they made and why they not qualified, then you are going to miss out on what
That's for you.
But yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So that's on you. You can decide, look at me and say, you can point out all my flaws and all my issues and everything I don't do right and everything I shoulda, coulda, woulda done it. But if you listen and just pay attention to those people, those power people that God put on your path to fuel you when you're feeling down. But a lot of times we judging that book by the cover. So I don't know how the conversation got over there, but somebody obviously just needed to hear that. Don't be moved by what you done, the mistakes you made, or where you at in your life. When God he done already downloaded that file. Just go with it. Open your mouth. Use what's in your hand. Do what you got to do. And don't be worried about people, because half them people that's sitting around worried about you ain't doing nothing. But not doing what God told them to do. Now I'm going to put a stamp on that and call it a wrap. Well, thank y'all ladies so much.
Thank you for having me.
I just appreciate y'all so much. Every time I call y'all always jump on board with me, and I appreciate that, because those are the type of people I need in my circle. I need people that say, let's do it, because sometimes I come from a history of talking myself out of things, and so if I was to call y'all and y'all were to say, girl, how we gonna do that? It probably would, but I appreciate y'all for always saying, this girl crazy, but okay, let's do it. So I'm excited. We'll be back for the For Brilliant Business Women Roundtable Session Round 2 in January. We're going to kick the year off right. Get your mindset ready. Ursula will be here. And y'all check us out on social media. Dominique, let them know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Dominique Guilford. Just plain old Dominique Guilford. It's the name of my personal page. But if you would like to see some of the things we have done, some of the things that we're doing, you can check out my daycare page, which is Creative Starts Childcare, LLC. Read some of the comments, some of the feedback. Leave a comment, leave a feedback. Follow us. Invite your family to follow.
All right. And bring your children to the daycare, honey. Anointed childcare, okay?
Except NCI, we have a food program. We have Texas.
One location near you.
Texas Food Ready certified. Texas Ready. And yes, bring them. We will love them.
All right, Miss Sheena, I know you're on your page and your people know, but just because we're podcasting, and tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me at 24-Hour Entrepreneur, and that is on Facebook and Instagram. So 24-Hour Entrepreneur on Facebook, and also at 24-Hour Entrepreneur on Instagram.
All right, and I'm somewhere everywhere these days. You can check me out on Facebook and on Instagram at Tanisha R. Atkins. I do morning coffee podcasts every day. So you can check me out at Morning Coffee Podcast Show on Facebook, on Instagram, Divas Incorporated, Facebook, Instagram, and you can connect with us. And just if you're in business and you are serious and you're ready to really get down that journey, you need to connect with us and reach out and say, can you help me? We don't know. We got some surprises coming up in 2019. But anyway, I really want y'all to check out my Morning Coffee podcast, because it's really been going really, really good. A lot of wisdom, a lot of nuggets to help you to grow up. It's your unofficial wake-up call to help you to have a better life and thrive in relationships. It's been going really, really good. So I'm on the Spreaker app. I'm also on YouTube at Morning Coffee Podcast Show. So y'all go check out some of my podcasts and leave me some feedback and let me know what you all think, okay? So thank y'all so much. We're going to wrap up today, and we'll be back in January, guys, and we look forward to you all coming on board, all right? Well, thank y'all so much. This has been Success Talk Sundays. If you have any feedback or you want to ask some questions, you can email us at divasincorporated@gmail.com. Thank y'all so much, and we will talk to you all in January.
See ya. Have a blessed week.
I should have waited for the clap.
Okay, pick the blue one. I think I'm in. I mean, Danae.
What's up?
Y'all, these.